Rock 100.5 KATT. I am Cameron Buchholtz here with comedian Kyle Kinane. What's going on, sir?
How are you, dude?
I'm good. I'm just plugging away, just doing this.
Yeah. I'm coming down by you guys. Okay, we're on the radio, but we're doing video.
Yes, yeah. It's pre-recorded, and then it'll be on the radio, and then the video will be on the social medias and the
Right.
Facebooks and the it's synergy.
Yeah, I really know how stuff works these days.
I mean,
Let me tell you, buddy.
I'm sure you do, man. I mean, it's. I think everyone has had to learn, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I went the other way. I think I reverted back to smoke signals. I was doing Zoom shows during the pandemic, but then I realized I was just sitting in my room thinking I'm talking to three people. Starting to say some real wild stuff. I'm like, all right, maybe we got to dial this back.
Yeah, it's going too far. But you are back out on the road, and you're going to be here Wednesday night, Tower Theater. And tickets are on sale, towertheaterokc.com. And it's just going to be good to have you back in OKC, man. Yeah,
man. For the listeners, Cameron booked me my first time ever in Oklahoma City back in 2010.
Like 11 years ago at a bar. And I think on that tour, you were mostly like sleeping in your truck.
Yeah, I'm upgraded to a van.
Right. I saw that.
11 years. It only took 11 years. I upgraded to a van.
Yeah, you're still sleeping in your vehicle. Now it's just a vehicle that's made to be slept in. So
yeah, I got a little more square footage these days.
That's not just a camper shop.
No. We got weather sealant. We got refrigeration.
There you go. But no, man, it's awesome to see. Now you're doing a big theater because you've been coming here a long time doing dingy bars and rock clubs, and you're moving up in the world not just with your sleeping arrangements in your vehicle, but where you're playing as well.
Yeah. I might even stay in a hotel after that Tower Theater gig. And I really treat myself to some running water.
Now, is that a common thing on the tour? I mean, it looks like a mix between like some bigger rock clubs and tours or theaters rather. And
well, I mean, and with our history, I kind of always thought like when I started comedy, like, okay, well, I can go sit at this comedy club and sell 50 tickets over 5 shows when I'm starting out, or I can just go to some bar that holds 50 people and I can get all 50 people there in one night, hopefully. And do a much more fun show. So that's how that kind of started going through, like trying to do independent venues. Not as a slight to the comedy clubs. I was like, this might be a better fit for what I'm trying to do with my career. And, slowly but surely, we're here 11 years later. Now we're in the theater. So yeah, I guess some of it worked out. We'll see how many people show up to the theater. But I'm playing the theater. I'll be there at least.
Well, and you're bringing our mutual friend, Mike Wiebe, who is hilarious, but people might also be aware that he's the lead singer of the band, the Riverboat Gamblers.
Yeah.
So, he'll bring the
it's so fun to see Mike Wiebe. It's so fun to see him as a lead singer be one of the scariest frontmen as far as like, I was like, I hope this venue has insurance. Like he would literally hang from rafters and all that stuff. And then to hang out with him as a person, he's the most mellow, sweet, thoughtful guy, like just soft-spoken fella. I kind of like it when people like there's that duality of like, yeah, I'm a maniac on a stage, but you don't want to hang out with that guy all the time.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he literally almost died like 3 years ago when he fell from some rafters or whatever at South by Southwest.
Yeah. Which I don't think he incorporates that into the stand-up. So don't get your hopes up and realize like, oh, his opening act's gonna fall out of the ceiling. I don't think that's what he's doing.
You're not. Yeah, I mean that. You don't want to have Gigi Allin open for you doing a stand-up show. I don't think.
No, you don't want the openers to work blue. So I don't think.
There you go.
Opening for you.
Yeah. That's the old school comedy way. But
at some point, Gigi Allin was an opening act on a bill. Can you believe that?
Right.
Somebody had to follow Gigi out at one point. Like, I don't know. There's crap on everything now. Yeah, he spilled his drink. No, there's literal crap on everything.
Poor guitar tech had to learn to bring a mop before the headliner.
This is like health code violation Gallagher is what Gigi Allin is.
I don't think people were smart enough to bring the tarps in the front row for those shows, though.
No, yeah.
But now, I guess the obvious question would just be how's it been being back doing shows after a year and a half off?
I kind of started up in this past summer when things were feeling a little bit safer, like a little bit more open. It's been good. You know, it's just finding out what you wrote over 15, 18 months without it being checked against an audience.
Mm-hmm.
Like stand-up has to be quality controlled with an audience. You don't get to just write it and be like, well, that's done without ever performing it. So that was scary because normally you sneak one new bit into like an already established set. Like, oh, here's a new part that might work. Now that's the whole thing. Like, this is all new. You stand up there like, I got an hour and maybe none of this works. We'll see what happens.
You did start out totally new. You didn't like bring back the set you were doing in February of 2020 and try to at least have that starting.
Some of it was there, but some of it was like the stuff I like about comedy is like writing the new stuff and seeing if it works. So that was like, I had all this stuff I'd been writing that I was really curious about. Like I still get scared of stand up, which I think is a good thing. Like I still like, oh, I don't know if this is going to work. And I might say, for the people coming to the Tower Theater, don't worry. This is I've been practicing.
You're about a third of the way through the tour.
Money's worth. Yeah, you'll get your money's worth on this one. Don't worry, everybody.
Right.
But yeah, it was exciting to be like, I don't know if I've had all these, I've been processing this just like everybody else. I wonder if my thoughts are on track with what other people are thinking, or if I was just got real weird over the last year and a half.
And what have you figured out the first third of this tour? Probably the latter.
Did half and half. But we all share this thought and some other stuff. Like, ooh, man, let's keep that one. Yeah. Keep that one a secret. It's not that. That's for the journal. That's not for the act.
Right. There you go. That's not for into microphones.
Yeah.
But now you also released an album in the middle of the pandemic, which must have been a little weird.
Yeah. Trampoline in a ditch. Well, it was recorded pre-pandemic.
Sure.
And then it's like, well, all the tour dates I'm doing now were supposed to be the ones that were in support of that album last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I have some scheduling, like, oh, I finished this run in Houston, and then 2 days later I go to Connecticut. Like, oh, yeah. Sure, that makes sense. But yeah, so that album came out last July, and I'm real proud of it. I don't know if anybody listened to it, but I liked it.
Well, was that supposed to be like that recording at Comedy on State? Was that supposed to be an album, or was it just like you were going to tape at a later time and then the pandemic hit and you were like, oh, well, this is a good enough representation?
No, I just wanted to do an album. And now I realized everybody just put stuff up on YouTube, but I was going to do an album, and I realized I had so much material built up that I was like, well, let me do this hour and change that I have practice. But that's why the recording is a little disjointed, because then at the end of each of the 5 shows, I had 5 different stories that had never been recorded. I'm like, well, let me use each of these shows to do one of these stories. So that's why it's like an hour and 45 minutes long.
Gotcha. So it's like an hour special.
Yeah. So it's like, I like kind of more just these stories that didn't fit in the hour-long set, but I did a different one at each show, and those are on the recording too. So.
Gotcha. Awesome. Then I like that you just wanted to do an album, because again, like you said, not many comics really do that anymore. It's just, the albums are just the audio version of their Netflix special or whatever.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not like anybody was coming to me to put out a special. Mm-hmm. And then now you just put it out on YouTube for free anyway. Right. You can either fight to be one of the 3 or 4 people Netflix already has pre-approved for their specials. Mm-hmm. Comedy Central isn't really, I don't know what they're doing anymore. I guess they're doing half hours and stuff, but I'm that's a young comics game over at Comedy Central. I'm a little over the hill probably for them. Right. And you can just put stuff out there and let people have it. Like, well, hope they come to shows. That's all I want them to do. Come see the live show. Gotcha. Nice. And now I want to talk about one thing I've always meaning to ask you about. With your albums, you have odd track names, or maybe not odd if you understand what they are. But I mean, because we're on a rock station right now, and so your first 2 albums, the first one was just the track listing to Live at Budokan from Cheap Trick, and then Live, and then I think you've had like hot dog ingredients or whatever at some points. Yeah, one was hot dog ingredients, and this is like the what am I doing this one? It's like not the Myers-Briggs, but like personality types. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, they don't. That's just me being a rascal. There's no. Right. I mean, it doesn't make anybody's life easier, because like, oh, I like this bit, but I don't know what track it's called. I'm like, well, neither do I. So,
Yeah.
I kind of thought in my head, I thought maybe it would make people take more of an interest because then you have to learn all the rest of the, that's my enigma. That's my coding. Like now you have to learn all my material to find the one joke you want because I didn't make it easy for you. If you can pass through these 9 gates, then you can call yourself. I don't know why. I just thought it was kind of fun and kind of being a jerk. But
yeah. Well, I think back, when the first album came out, it probably didn't matter as much. It was just like, oh, hi, look at the names of the tracks on the back of the CD. But now with streaming, it's a whole different beast.
Yeah, the first 2 I think I did live at Budokan. I think the next one was Whiskey Icarus was, I forget what
it was. It Kiss Alive? One of them was Kiss Alive, right?
Yes. That one was Kiss. But then the next one I was doing Comedy Central, I was doing NWA.
Oh, okay.
And I was doing all their tracks. And they're like, they finally caught on, like, no, we can't do this. They can't have like licensing issues. You can't have these the same title. I'm like, I did it on the last album, and I think a lawyer probably got fired for that. They clearly let the Kiss one slip by. And but they're like, no, you can't do it with the NWA one. I'm like, well, that's why every track on that album, it's called like this song is not called Something to Dance To. This song is not called Boys in the Hood. So
it's funny that you got away with the Kiss one because it seems like Gene Simmons would be way more lawyerly about it than.
That's how I know I haven't made it because I haven't gotten sued by Kiss. Like he's the most litigious. Like that should be the marker of like, oh, I'm in the zeitgeist because Gene Simmons has a lawsuit against me, but not yet unless he's listening. Gene, sorry, buddy.
Yeah. Well, this Wednesday night, Tower Theater. Everybody go see Kyle, and I appreciate you taking the time to do this real quick thing. And I'm stoked to see you, man.
Yeah, it's good to talk to you, Cameron. Like the listeners need to know, man. I owe you, buddy.
Oh no.
Okay, see the first time. That's here. We're still talking.
Indeed, 11 years later. This will be the final time. This is the end, but it was good while it lasted.
Grudge match.
Indeed, dude. Well, man. We'll just we'll see you Wednesday night.
Sounds good.
Cool, man. Appreciate it.